Welcome back to the Subspace Games YouTube channel. This is a remake of the teleporter video that I put up yesterday, or actually I guess it was this morning. Turns out there was no sound, so I guess the sound was in there. It was just very, very faint. And like an idiot, once I encode my videos into the format that I'm going to upload them to YouTube, I delete the originals. And so it was most likely when I encoded it to the other format that the audio poofed. So I have learned my lesson. I don't know how I'm going to work it out. Those videos can get rather large and I have no hard drive space, but I don't know. Hopefully we'll work it out. I guess the other side of that is I just need to be a little more careful with my videos and pay attention to what I'm doing. Anyways, enough of the boring stuff. So this hopefully will not be, once you do the video once and then you go to do it the second time, sometimes it's not going to be as great as it was before because I'm just like, I've already done this. Just want to get through it. But hopefully it'll be interesting enough. So what I did is I added a teleporter. The idea is the ball goes into this object and it comes out in a matching object somewhere else in the level. So the first thing, and this is kind of the idea behind the teleporter, is a little bit of eye candy. So let's open up teleporter particles. Let's see what we get. So let's hit play. Okay, so that's what we get. We get this white swirling mass, and the other one is particle highlight, teleport particle highlight. So we get the dark one. So let's start with the dark one. What I have done is we've got auto start like I usually do, so it's just starting when the thing starts up. And then for the type, I've got Omni, just goes off in all different directions. Particles, I put it up at 512 to give quite a bit of movement within the particles. I'm not going to go through these in detail. I'm just going to kind of scan through this, and then if you need to, you can go back and review the video to see all the settings. But so I use the default foam texture, and I don't have additive blending on, so we actually get to see the colors. It's not just that white overexposed look. Went through and just changed things like the lifetime, and I took the initial speed down so it just basically stays where it is. Turned the rotation up so we get a little bit of a rotating effect there, and just kind of adjusted some of these things. Went in and set the colors to blues and kind of purplish. Adjusted the opacity a little bit and the size. Scaled it up a bit so that it would be about the size that we want it to. And then for the teleporter particles, I basically did the same thing, except you'll notice on this one I did sphere. I was kind of playing with the difference between the two. They do look different, and I think it kind of adds to the effect. And then I used the same texture, the foam. I went a lot smaller on the particles here because I wanted this to be more of a pulsing. You'll notice when you look at it, since there aren't as many particles, you get to see more of the pulsing effect. There's not so many particles that overlay and kind of cloud out everything else. Just the lifetime, and this one I've got some speed and some rotation. Just some basic stuff. The whole idea is you just play with this. I think I've mentioned before. You just keep tweaking it until you get something that you like. Again, I did some blues and purples. Since there's additive blending on this, it's not as much, but you'll notice that there's a bit of a tinge there, and the opacity and whatnot, global scale. Okay, anyways, you get the idea. The next thing I did is create a helper model, and we did this with the ball, and basically it's just a model that doesn't have a mesh that goes with it. We can just attach things to it, and so I created it. It's called teleporter. If we open up teleporter, the other things that I have added to this is we have some special effects. So I applied the teleporter particles and teleporter particle highlight. Also, I put a sensor on here and made the size about 1.5. Seemed to fit about the size of the particle effects. And then I added an AI controller, which is the teleporter AI. It's something new that I've created. Let's jump over to the code and take a look at it. So there's a destination and a port. The port represents the current gate. The destination is obviously the destination port. And then on the onInit function, I basically just set those up so that we have access to both. And then I have an on-sensor collision so that when there's a collision, it basically sends an event to the ball to pause the effects, and then it matches the translation with the destination, and then it starts the effects back up. So it's pretty simple. I did get some feedback from Kronos in the forum, and I really appreciate that. And we had some discussion going back and forth on some of the stuff regarding the teleporter. So I'm probably going to go back and change this. I think I'm going to do a separate video for the feedback I got from Kronos, and just because I think it's a very crucial part of doing game development, to get the feedback and to really see how that can improve your game. So I want to do a separate issue on that, a separate video. Alright, so that's about it. When I came back over to the level, no, we didn't make any changes there. I just put, you'll see up here in the corner, there's this sphere. I put the teleporter in the level, and then I put a second teleporter over here. The way I have it set up, what you basically have to do is, for the second teleporter, you give it the name port destination, and it will send the ball over to here. Now I was thinking about another thing I probably will change. You'll notice that the one over here has a sensor and this one doesn't. There's also no AI attached to this one. It's just a dummy destination port. When you really think about it, a teleport should be back and forth. So I'll probably add some functionality here to return back there. I don't know that it will really end up being used in the game, but you don't want the ball bouncing around and hit the port over here and nothing happen. There should be some consequences for hitting that port. Anyways, let's go ahead and play and see what happens. Let's switch over to runtime mode. So you see the particle effects came out pretty good. We've got the lighter part in the middle, and there's like this little black spot in the middle, which I kind of like, and it pulses a little bit, and there's some swirling going on. I think it looks pretty nice. So I'm going to go ahead and aim just over the port, switch to overhead view. You'll see that here's the other one, and we'll launch the ball, hits the port, and it comes out over on the other side. So basically, some of the feedback that I got from Kronos is the fact that the trail doesn't start up where it should, and that was also the case on the beginning, but I made some adjustments so that you'll always see the trail at the very beginning when it gets launched. Like I said, I'll go ahead and do another video on some of his feedback and how we can fix some of those issues. But I hope you enjoyed the video. This is, I think, a little bit shorter than the other one was. I just didn't say as much, and that's probably a good thing because I have a tendency to ramble. I hope you're enjoying the video. I am getting a lot of good feedback from people, and I really appreciate that. It really helps me to stay motivated, to know that I'm helping people. Please feel free to go to the website, subspacegames.com, check out the forums there, check out the game prototype, go to GitHub and check out the code, the scripts that we're running. There's a lot of resources out there now. If you have any feedback, please let me know, and because I'm learning quite a bit from the feedback I'm getting, and I think it's going to make the game a lot better game. So I appreciate the feedback we're getting, and it will also help you guys because you'll learn more about how we can do iterative game development, get some feedback from people, and actually continually make the game better and better. So I hope you're enjoying that. Every once in a while I'll do a little plug. When you go to my website, please click on some ads and stuff. I really hate ads and everything, but it does help to support what I'm doing. Trust me, I'm not making any money on this, considering the amount of time I put into it. So every little bit does help. Maybe if I get enough money, I'll be able to get a hard drive where I can store all this stuff or whatever. You guys don't need to hear my sob story. I'm doing fine, but it is nice to get some money out of it, even if it's just a small amount. So If you feel the desire to, go ahead and click on some ads. Otherwise, we'll see you in the next video.